Hey, this is Chris Lucian from Deadly Apps, and today I'm working on Skull Survivor, and we are going to cover the test setup or the unit test setup for the project, just because I think a lot of people don't know how to get this working. And the one little caveat is assembly definitions for your project. So I'm just going to walk you through what I have right now for it to be working. So, unit tests will end up showing under the test runner here. And so if I run all, then, they come in. You'll notice that DevDog does a lot of unit testing, which is really cool. So you get some really great stuff out of that. At least there's some coverage in their packages. So kudos to you, DevDog. And they kind of make things like Inventory Pro and Rucksack, and at least those are the packages from them that I've used before. Here's some of my unit tests. I'm gonna start introducing a lot more unit tests into this project because I intend for it to be kind of a longer living thing. And that's when you might use unit tests in general is if you're working with multiple people on a team, then and you're breaking each other's code a lot, unit tests protect you a lot from that. Or if you are worried that you're going to change something in 6 months to a year and not remember what you were doing, which happens to us all the time. So the biggest gotcha with unit tests is the assembly definitions. And so I'll just kind of show you what I have right now. I'll make another video about writing these tests, but I kind of have my project in a good spot to start making these tests. And I just kind of wanted to do a quick walkthrough on this, just to talk about what you're going to want to be doing. So first of all, we have editor mode tests. And this is an assembly definition file, and then here's the code file. That is different than the general scripts file, which is this game assets here. And the hardest part about this is not the initial setup. The hardest part about it is, I think, just remembering that if you've already imported other people's packages, you're also going to have to put their projects inside assembly definitions as well. So these crypto effects, anything that comes with scripts, like for the example, navmesh components that I got off of GitHub, all these things will need their own assembly definitions for all of their scripts. Once, if they don't exist, you can just create one, and the existence of this file will create an assembly. But the reason that they're in this assembly definition references is because their code won't be available to your code unless you put them in here. So that's the weirdest part of it. So if you've imported a lot of packages already, a lot of assets, then you're basically gonna have to go and create one of these files for every folder that contains scripts, and you're gonna have to make another one inside that for every folder that contains editor scripts that you don't want to be inside the main project build. Otherwise, your builds are going to fail. So, and it'll appear to be working while you're in play mode, but when you go to build, anything that has editor only dependencies, that they're just going to get messed up. So you can kind of see right here, I have the test runner DLLs that I needed to grab, as well as the game assets. The game assets is my assembly definition. Probably rename this at some point to maybe Skull Survivor game assets or something. But and you'll notice that I like to keep my assets in the folder that they came in case there's just some like weird dependency problems. And then what I do is I have underscore game assets for my game assets and underscore DevOps for DevOps. So hopefully that helps you create those files. I'll show you some of the unit tests I already have in the project. So this is for a cooldown manager. One thing I'm really excited about is you can now new up a game object inside of a traditional unit test, and it won't break the test. This used to not be true. So if I just said var player equals new game object here, this used to not work and would have actually failed. But I'll just show you real quick right now using the Unity test runner that test that I just put in there actually passes. So that's really exciting. That means that unit test writing is going to be a lot easier for us to deal with in the future. So keep an eye out for a follow-up video, and I will just go through the different things. One other thing I didn't cover here is the Unity tests, and these are more integration level tests. And so if you're familiar with the test pyramid, then you're going to want to have a lot of unit tests like I showed you before. This test, however, is an integration test. So you're going to have kind of one happy path integration test, and then you're going to test all of your variations in behavior down in your unit tests. Yeah, again, look for the follow-up video. Tell people about my game, Skull Survivor. It's a bullet heaven twin stick hack and slash. So hopefully you might be excited about that. And keep an eye out for my videos to help you with your game development too. Let me know in the comments if you use any of the techniques from my videos, and I will be sure to give you a shout out on Twitter and other things like that. So thank you very much for watching, and until next time, test well.